Well, welcome everybody. This is Kim Evans to Inspired Conversation Podcast 2021. I'm so excited that you all are here today and welcome. Thank you for listening. I have a very lovely guest today, and my guest today is the Miss Khalida. She's a runway model too. Oh, I can't wait to get into her bio. Khalida Muhaymin. I'm so excited. I met this young lady over 15 years ago, and I was so inspired when I first met her. And just to know where her career has unfolded now, I'm so excited to share with you her great achievement and her joys as a runway model. So, before I get into the show, you all know what I love to do. If you don't mind, Miss Collida, I love to always invite the Holy One in. So, podcast viewers, I just want to invite God in. God, thank you so much, the creator of this world. Thank you. I want to invite you in so that you can navigate this podcast. You are amazing. You are God. You are awesome. You are omnipotent. And I just want to give you honor and I want to give you praise. First of all, acknowledging your power. I want to also acknowledge Ms. Khalida. Thank you so much for your time and your blessing, for coming on and being such a great inspiration to women like yourself that look like yourself, that look like me, that want to do what you do, podcast viewers. God bless the undeaf ears. May this word, may this inspiration go as far as from the east, as the west, and the south, and the north. And may people who are listening or seeing be inspired, be moved, and be motivated. Thank you, Miss Collida. Wow. You know what? I was so impressed by your video. If you give me the honor, I love to just show that video because it speaks volume already of who you are. If you don't mind, can we just go ahead on and just do that? Because this was really wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. We're just playing a video, just a very short video.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khalida Muhaymin. Within the last year, I've been modeling intensely. This is a presentation of who I am and what I want to accomplish in the modeling industry. Modeling has changed my life for the better. It has increased my poise and posture, self-confidence and social skills, and has empowered me as a woman to develop these qualities and abilities. As a professional in the modeling industry, this is why you want to work with me. I have a very professional work ethic. I'm punctual. I'm disciplined. I have a very positive attitude. I'm well recommended by professionals in the industry. And my peers think I'm a very good role model for Muslim women and all women of my age group. So far, as a Muslim model, I was featured as a cover girl on a magazine in the US. I've walked in DC Fashion Week. I was also a featured model in Fashion Walk Against MS. If you think you can use my professional modeling skills, please contact me. Thank you.
Beautiful. This is so beautiful. Wow.
I was one of the DC Fashion Week.
We're actually showing some photography, but
Actually, this is Roy Cox, actually a celebrity photographer.
and this was DC Fashion Week,
Yep.
opening night. Wow.
I think that was my very first one that I started.
Was this your first one? This your first one?
This one wasn't, no, but the DC Fashion Week for DC Fashion Week.
And what's this magazine?
This
is
magazine.
Number one Muslim magazine?
First contemporary Muslim women's magazine.
Wow, first.
I was the cover girl for the first one. Another.
I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. When you look back at your success in such a short amount of time, but let me also share with the viewers that you've modeled on private shows in New York, Fashion Week, 3 consecutive cycles in DC Fashion Week, on the cover of Aziza magazine, which is the first contemporary Muslim women's magazine. You've modeled internationally. You had the opportunity to model in Italy. Oh my God, right before COVID, July 2020. and you still making your way on the runway. How does that make you feel when you look at your accomplishment thus far? How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful. You always have to go back to your humble beginnings,
Yes.
and realize that it will come. And and I'm still humble with it now. I'm not trying to be on the top or anything. I'm working my way there, but just keep going and doing what I'm doing, trying to break these barriers and get out there. I'm up there, I started modeling in the 90s.
I mean, you really are. I mean, when we look back in the 70s, some of our role models were Tyra Banks, Frida Payne, Pam Grier.
Yep.
I mean, my goodness. And we didn't have that many, we really didn't have that many African American women, and we definitely didn't have Muslim women that were represented. And now all of a sudden, look at all of this. I just think it is great. But before we get into your inspiration and where you are right now, we've got to talk about those beginnings. So how did you get into the beauty game? How did you get in there? And as a matter of fact, I think we have a quick story of how we met.
So, you probably do remember, or may not remember, the first time I ever met you. You came into a cosmetology school, and you were, I think, teaching a makeup class, and it was Duluth Cosmetology in California.
Concord, Duluth. Which before it was Duluth, it was international.
Right.
Because that's where I graduated, and we was the same place.
Yeah.
The director was the same because it was Miss Lynn.
Yes, and I remember her.
With his blonde hair. And Miss Lynn was always like, Kim, you coming back. No. You're going to come back and get back, and you're going to teach to my class. I said, Miss Lynn, you got it. Every year I came back, and I would teach a makeup class to either the cosmetology, or I would teach a makeup class on the aesthetic side. Mm-hmm. So I came back and I taught in one of your classes.
And you sure did. And I was close to the end, and when I saw you, I was like, oh my goodness, she's beautiful. She looks like me. And she teaches makeup. And you were like just amazing. So I was glued to you to see what you were going to offer. You were amazing. And then you handed out some flyers, I think, that you were going to be teaching at the Skin Inc.
At the Skin Inc. show. Everybody know I was teaching at the Skin Inc.
Yes. And I was going to be there. If you were going to be there, I was going to be there. And I
the Skin Inc. show in San Jose. It was San Jose, right? Or Santa Clara back then.
No, I think it was Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. Okay.
And I made sure I was there. And I think, definitely wanted to be an esthetician. I got my license. But I think I was moving more towards the makeup part, only because I couldn't model at the time. I didn't think I could. I was thinking, no, maybe not. I did it years before that. Then I started having the kids, and I said, no, we're not doing this. I'm going to go to makeup part. At least I can be with the model. You were amazing, and I just was trying to be like you. And I think that's where we met.
Wow. And then Khalida, I opened up my spot in Orinda, and I was teaching some professional because I have always been teaching professional makeup classes, and then I was teaching them to other estheticians and salon owners. And you came at one of my 2-day weekend bridal makeup class.
Yeah, and
I had my spot in Orinda. And I had about maybe 6 ladies that was in there. It was a Saturday and Sunday, because I remember I met your husband at the time because he came to get you. And we just knocked it out the park. It was 8 hours each day. By the time y'all was done, you felt real comfortable how to do bridal makeup.
You know what?
I'm like, that's Khalida. That's Khalida. Yes. Wow.
Look at this. What does that say? Can you see?
No, you don't. No, you don't, girl. Stop it. Stop it. No, you still got your folder. She still got her folder. Whoa. Got a folder and a certificate. Look at that. Now that's an inspiration. Go ahead on go.
I was not going anywhere without having that. You were the truth. You were the truth.
Thank you. And the principles of makeup is the same, regardless of the time genre. If you really know the basic principles to makeup, it's timeless. And I try to tell women, Colors and palettes may change, but techniques stay the same. This is why when you're doing bridal makeup, your bridal makeup should be timeless. And don't ever think, oh my God, I became an esthetician and I really didn't do anything with it. Khalida, yes, you did. Because look at your skin, look at your makeup. You're well trained. And so now when you go on a runway model, because they don't always have Black makeup artists that are representing you, and you know how to color correct your foundation. You know how to do a highlighter. You know how to do a contour. You don't have to be felt alone if you don't have a makeup artist that's there representing your skin tone.
Or sometimes there's so many girls, we don't even get in the chairs.
Right.
Sometimes we have to start our own stuff, and maybe they could come and put a lip on us. That's about it. That's how many people are there, and girls are there, and men are there, because we all can't get in the chair. So I learned from the best, and I took it, and I kept practicing and practicing.
And it makes all the difference in the world. It's all about the foundation. It's getting the foundation right. You get your foundation right, the color cosmetics, that's just an easy thing, right? And the finisher is the powder. Those, it's just easy. But that is beautiful. Look at you. When I saw that photo, I'm like, look at Khalida. She's a runway model now. I'm so excited. This is good. So let me ask you, Khalida, when you look at the top modest modeling, and then I want you to define modest modeling, just for the viewers out there who really, so we can correct really what it means. When you look at these top models, and you included in this list, Khadija Dawara, Hamilia Aden, Maria Adrisi, Shahira Yusuf, Talida Tamir, Ikram Abi Omar, and Adishwa Agiwi. These are some beautiful Muslim model, all creed colors and shades that's killing the runway game. How does that make you feel right now in 2021? How does that make you feel?
To be in the room with them and be named with them?
Yes!
Like I'm there. I am there. Because I take it professionally like they do. Yes. I do it professionally like they do. Yes. I may not be on their supermodel list like that, but I am, because we're all going through the same struggle. There were no representations of me back in the 70s or 80s or even 90s.
Right.
So, and then just growing up and wanting to be in this industry and not having the support.
Right.
To see this now, that I'm not the only one breaking these barriers, it's in your face everywhere, that kind of thing. So now everybody can see. And modest modeling. So, Jewish women have modest models, Mormon women, not just Muslim women. So when you say modest modeling, it's maybe a longer sleeve. Okay. Or having a sheer top, but something underneath.
Something underneath your clothing as you're modeling.
Exactly. So you won't show as much skin.
You're not showing that much skin. Okay.
Right. So when Muslim women, they're going to have a head covering or something covering their hair and their skin. So I always say I'm in the category of modest modeling, but at the same time, I'm a Muslim modest model.
Yes.
I do wear my head covering. And I always tell any of the designers that I walk for, as long as you have something for my head, I can walk for you. I will not go out without my headdress at all. So it doesn't have to be the one I have or the one I brought. It could be something that they made. And somebody took off a shirt when I was at one of these modeling events. She needed something beige. Nobody had anything beige. She took her shirt off. It was like a blouse. She wrapped it up like a turban. I'm telling you, I walked on it because she knew I wasn't going out without anything.
Really?
So some are accommodating, and they'll do what they have to do so that I can walk the runway with them.
I love your headpiece there. And what do you call that particular design? Is that the hijab? Hijab. I love it. And have you considered signature branding your own?
Hijabs?
Yes.
I haven't, but you know what? Models, yes. Hijabs, now that you're saying something, maybe I should think about it.
I think you should.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, you should.
I never thought about that.
Well, yeah, it's time to think about it. Let's pull it from the sky. That's what we do. We're
That's right.
celebrating women empowerment. You know, you look gorgeous in that. This is month's theme. It's women empowerment, money, power, and self-care. So women entrepreneurs, that's rocking it. And you're rocking the runway. So why not have your signature? Why not? Let that permeate. Let that percolate in your meditation. That's good. A very easy thing to do. I mean, you can have that in different colors.
You know,
your own signature, the way it rocks. It could be in different fabrics. Are you serious?
Khalida the model.
There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Why not?
You know what? Sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. You can think of anything. So, who have been the 3 people closest to you that have been the most influential to you as you have been able to walk this journey?
All right. You know, the first
and you can't say your husband.
Oh, why? Because he was going to be number 1.
He's automatic.
You know what?
And you can't say your children. They're automatic. They're automatic.
Okay, so I'm going to say
now if he's your coach when you're on the runway. Now if he's your coach when you're on the runway, then you can say him.
They are the ones that inspired me to do this because I got back into the game in 2018. Okay, so I just went to a
what was your first modeling assignment? What year?
2018 or 1990? 1990.
Oh,
19. I want to say 1993. 1993. I did local designers. A New York designer, Lubna Original. She's out of New York, and she designed for the Jackson 5. She designed for a lot of celebrities. And also another New Jersey designer who has passed away. Her name is Mufida Kahira. So I've actually modeled for them in New Jersey and New York in the 1990s, 93, 95. But I hung those up, I want to say, once I got married and had kids, and it came knocking at my door again in 2018.
Wow.
Not me. I did not go looking for it. I, matter of fact, refused to go to a fashion show because I didn't want to go, but a few friends of mine here in Maryland decided, let's go, Khalida, let's do this. I said, okay, I'm going to go and do it. Got there. And I brought my shoes because they said sometimes, they ask for people in the audience to model. I said, okay, I'll bring my shoes. I got to the front because she's VIP. I went with her and I got VIP treatment. The lady at the front said, she's a model. Take her in the back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Get back there. And the lady I modeled for in New York was back there. Looked at me. I looked at her. We yelled. We were hugging. We couldn't believe it was us. So all the other designers peeked around and said, what's going on? Who's this? They saw how tall I was. They saw my stature. They said, can we use you afterwards? I said, sure. That was the first time that the door opened up. And I never looked back after that. And I made sure I asked my husband and my kids. I said, look, what do you think of me doing this? They were like, we love it. We don't care. We want you to do it. My husband knows that I'm a different person when I'm on that runway. I'm a whole different person. My personality comes out. So if I can't use them as inspiration, but
okay.
I'm going to use my aunties.
Okay.
My best friend, one of my best friends, Aziza.
Okay.
And I want to say my sister because she actually helped me get some of the pictures out because I didn't have a professional photographer or anything.
So who was your modeling coach? Who's your modeling coach now?
Well, I had a couple of them. I had Mandy. She's out of Holland. She lives in New York. And I love Lou Sierra. I have not officially met her yet, but she's one of my mentors, Lou Sierra.
Nice.
Fabulous runway model.
So I'm kind of curious now. I know, during this whole COVID pandemic, how's the modeling, how has it changed? If someone was to get into modeling now, or even for yourself, should you have a booking agent or should you be your own agent? How does that work? I know back in the day, I remember I did some work for Casablanca in San Francisco for Coco Presents. I would go there and I would teach to their, teach makeup, actually one of the makeup artists. And so back then you had to have a booking agent and things like that, all the models. So how is it today?
Okay.
Or are you just actually on the phone and their PR person is talking to you? How are you normally booked?
So that's one of the things. I am with 2 agencies. I'm with a modeling agency out of the UK and Mainline modeling agency out of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And it's so funny because I didn't think no. Let me backtrack. Every person thinks you need $1,000, $2,000 portfolio, and you need an agent,
Right.
Agency to represent you. So I didn't have either one of those, and I couldn't afford any of that. So I just kept going on my own, doing my own footwork, doing my own work. I was researching. That's all I did. Just kept researching, and also going to these little runway shows, the local ones. It snowballs after that. So you start to network, and once you start networking, it's on you to keep going and networking.
Nice.
Do the work, do the research. But from there, all my pictures started coming out. I started submitting my own self to hundreds of agencies. I'm going to tell you, it's not easy. You had to put your own self, you had to send your pictures, call them up. It's the same like it was, but now it's through internet. You can do everything through internet. So I was submitting pictures. I wasn't physically going there. So some of them contacted me, called me back, and they said, we want to work with you. I was like, great. So it is still the same where they will book you. I've gotten booked a few times. I was in Mr. Robot, and that's how I got booked from Pennsylvania. And also a couple of the fashion shows, because they know who they want. They're like, look, send this person, send this person, send this person. So it's still the same. It's still the same. You still have virtual model calls now, because I have been to a couple of them. Mm-hmm. Model calls where you get on virtually, and they are looking at your walk, looking at your stance, looking at everything about you.
So this particular one that we're seeing right here, Khalida, is like Winter Wonderland. I mean, it's so just doggone beautiful. And I know this has to be professionally done, because I mean, look how gorgeous this is. Tell us about this one here.
Well, this one really wasn't a professional. Okay.
Really?
No, my son was actually getting into photography. I have a 16-year-old, and it snowed one of these weekends at our place. And he wants to get into photography so much and really take pictures. He has an eye. So if he gets the training, he's going to really be dynamite. And I just threw on some stuff. I try to put my makeup on as nicely as I possibly could.
In the snow.
And in the snow, right? And then I just tried my personality. And this is what came out.
I love it. Sometimes the best is the most authentic. And this is really authentic. Have you submitted some of these shots to different types of photographers or magazine covers?
I have not.
Oh,
I have not.
This is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, you need to also include that in your category of shots. So when people see the authentic sides of you, authenticity, or things that's just maybe not just things that are off the cuff, that's a little bit more natural, because that makes up your natural beauty. So make sure that you have that, as part of your caliber or your catalog that you have. What would you say the biggest surprise has been in your whole modeling career?
Designers receiving me, going out of their way to help me. Mm-hmm. I could be the only Muslim modest model at a model call, or designers choosing models. I'm the only one there, and I might not have something on like this. I might just have like a thin piece or something on, but they will go out of their way to accommodate me. And one in particular reminds me, his name is Derek, DJ Lifestyles, nice. And he had a really nice piece, a green like jacket, and he said, I want you to leave your black headdress on. I said, okay, but I'm going to find you something. He went through it. He had about 10 to 15 girls and a couple of guys. He got them all dressed, and I said, he's not going to find anything for me. And he
of course.
Of course he would. Those are my surprises. Like, they are accommodating.
Because photographers behind the camera, makeup artists behind the camera, and when you deal with fashion producers and fashion directors, we all work miracles. So when we see an object, which is you, the beauty, when we see, an object of beauty, I say that, you can work and create miracles. How many times have I created miracles on the wedding day with someone's makeup? I'll never forget this one lady, the hairdresser did not show up. Now, I'm not a hairdresser. Now, her makeup was laid. But we had to create something with the hair. And so, with my expertise working in my uncle's hair salon, as I grew up, I says, well, I know you got some hair pieces back there, some bobby pins, and you got some hairspray. Well, as long as you got some hair pieces, some bobby pins, and some hairspray, I could tie that thing up, push it up, and we could make it look beautiful. Her hair was immaculate. The hairstylist never showed up. So I saw something in her. I saw beauty, an object of beauty. And I created, and I says, well, we're going to take a rose from here. Your flowers are delivered. We're going to take some carnations from here. We're going to put this here, put that there, and we're going to make it do what it do. And that's exactly what we did. So, when the photographer said, hey, just wear the black, I got something. He had a vision already by seeing your unique beauty. So never underestimate that. And I love the fact that everywhere you've gone so far, they're willing and want to go over the top to work with you.
That's to me the best experience I've had. Now I can't speak for anybody else, but that's really like touching to me because because I mean we already know what's out there. We already know who most of the people are going to choose.
Sure.
And when they go above and beyond because they want different, I want something different.
And so what was that? Say that one more time. You said they want different.
I want something.
Say it loud.
I want something different.
They want something different.
And they see what's different because
they see what's different. I love it.
So they're gonna accommodate.
You got the height. You have the girth and the width, which is perfectly in proportion. You have the beauty, the smile, the essence, the passion behind it, and it's all one complete package, and it's different. And and that's actually going to just help you to lead the whole pack. I remember when I used to teach in New York and I did the bridal shows for Skinny magazines. Every year they would fly me out, and then back then we had this thing called model calls, and in my budget for them to pay me, I also was given models. And each day when I was assigned to teach a professional bridal class, I had 5 different models. So I would go into this model call, was at the top, the 9th floor of the hotel when they would put me up in New York. And it was just beautiful. And these models were from all over the world, like yourself, all over the world. And I wanted the most unique, the most different, the most inspiring. I could tell with the personality. I would walk down the aisle and I say, I want you, and you. And I knew it because they were different. And it was so beautiful. And my classes were amazing. I mean, so I get it when they say different, Khalida. When you walk into a show, it's just like, yes. And those eyes, it's like, yes, that smile. Yes, we want her. So that is wonderful. So my question is, does age matter now in modeling? Do you think?
No. Can I share something with you? I just turned 50.
Shut the front door! Shut the front door! Yes, to the women who are 40s, 50s, and beyond. Woo-hoo! Girl, and I'll be turning double it.
That's right.
Wow, that's a triple threat. No one could even imagine that you have crossed Jubilee. Shut the front door, girl. I want to see your birth certificate.
Thank you. I do not.
Are you serious?
I am.
Are you serious?
In December 13th. I was, and it just really hit me now. It didn't hit me before because I was thinking, I know a lot of people are 50, this, that, and the other. I would never reveal that because I felt like that is detrimental to my modeling career.
Do they ask you your age?
Oh, girl, yes. I have so many little stat sheets here that they ask, and then some in the parentheses say your real age. I would put 30 in a minute. I would put 35 in a minute because a lot of times they'll be like, especially if they don't see the person.
I was going to say, if they don't see you, they may just toss it out before they even see you.
They
have to, and once they see you, and then if they ask, I'm like, okay, I can tell you what my age is.
Right, and a lot of times I don't put anything down. I don't, because they just need to see who I am. They need to see my walk. Because, see, that's the thing. Models, yes, you have to be beautiful. You have to have the body. You have to have everything. But we're here to sell the clothes. We're here to sell whatever it is that you are giving us to wear. So it's not about us. Yes, it is. But it's not about us. It's about how we can make you some money.
I love
And
it.
that's what designers should choose. And when they look at the age, sometimes I don't put it down. I don't put it down.
I love it. See, you're smart. In quite a step, I wouldn't do. I would do the same thing too. So I'm curious, Carla. Do you actually negotiate your own deal? Do you negotiate your own rate? And do you fair? And do you also feel that whatever rate you're giving, that is fair, and that they're not cheating you?
Okay. So I do leave that up to my agencies. The
Okay,
agencies
good.
do that. So
Okay, good.
I don't have any a part of that.
Okay.
And whatever it is, it is. Now, if I don't like it, then I've never said anything to say, no, I don't like this. And, let me go back. Probably because I didn't think I would go as far and
Okay.
as fast,
Got it.
and I'm thinking, I'm just getting into the door. Why would I,
Question. Yeah.
right,
Why would you question?
exactly.
Let me get my feet wet. Let me get some history.
Exactly.
Let me get some work underneath my belt before I start questioning price or anything like that.
And two, you want to be able to be called back. That's the bottom line.
Totally.
If they like you enough and you're pleasant, they're gonna call you back.
Totally.
So when they do that, I don't mess with that. When I'm on my own, I want to let you know I have done free shows before. Nice. Why? Because I'm passionate about it, and I know that they need models. They don't always want to pay models, and I'll do it for free if I have the time, and I love it. But I will let you know, I do have the capability of negotiating my own and making sure I am covered and my flights, my hotel.
Oh, absolutely.
All of that.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming those little sweet deals that you're also negotiating, that your husband or someone else is there with you as well, right?
Well, sometimes, but most of the time, no. And I want to say modeling, you're on your own. Unless you have an agent or an agency.
Got you.
You're on your own pretty much. I'm traveling by myself all the time. I'm doing everything on my own because we don't have an entourage. It's a lonely, modeling is a lonely world. It's a lonely world because you have to get up early, you have to leave late, you have to go. You have a lot of different things, and everybody can't drag along with you unless you have an entourage.
Okay,
if you're rolling like that.
That's a good point.
If you're rolling like that, you have an entourage.
So let me ask you, what has been one of your most teachable moments? That you've just learned. I ain't gonna never do that again. I mean, it's like, okay, I learned that one time. I don't need to learn that like 4 times. That was a teachable moment, and it just, all right, I'm good. I got it. I learned it. Because one false business move can ruin your whole career.
Yes, you're right. Not to take things personally.
Okay.
I want to say I wasn't chosen, just like Charleston. I wasn't chosen for the first cycle of DC Fashion Week, and I did my walk, and there was a designer that said, no, I want number 25, and I still have my numbers. They're probably upstairs, but I still have my little model numbers.
Wow.
And she said, I want number 25. So the producer said, model number 25, let's see your walk again. So I got up there, and I'm the only one on the runway. And I got up there and did my walk, and he was like, oh, okay. Because there was like 300 or 400 people in there.
Exactly.
And so he didn't choose me, but she chose me. And she said, I want her. So I want to say this to say that not to take it personally. Okay. And I have to learn that, and had to learn that the hard way, because once I wasn't chosen and they named all the other numbers and models, I was leaving out. And I said, I can't do this anymore. But don't take it personally. Learn it from get that thick skin. That's what you need.
And has there been any situations, or I'm sure that you've overcome the situations, other models, do they treat you well, knowing of the fact that you're a modest model and they're not looking at you crazy or asking questions? They tend to, I think it's a lot more acceptable now, though.
The majority, yes. But there are a few girls that are like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. What do you think you're going to do? Mm-hmm. Till they can see that I can outwalk you. I might not have my long blonde hair out, or I might not have my body showing.
Yes.
I can outwalk you. I can pose. I can do everything that you can do, and maybe even better, because I've got experience and I got past 100.
Bingo! I love it.
I'm not going to step down, and I'm not going to stop. I'm up there with the rest of them.
I love it. So two things, if a woman wanted to get into modeling at this age, say middle age, what two things would you share with her to start? Where to start if that was her passion and she wanted to start doing some modeling? Because when we look at don't quote me because my brain is on fast forward. I believe it's Elon Musk's mother. It's not Elon Musk, it's another billionaire's mother.
Yeah, it is.
See, I got it right.
May
That
Musk.
woman is gorgeous. And she's
May
in
Musk.
her 70s.
May Musk.
Platinum hair, short. And I believe when she first started, she just took off the runway. And then they started ridiculing her because of her age.
Yep.
And she stopped and she went on a hiatus. And then they called her back.
Yep.
That woman is burning up the runway. And she does a lot more catalog, more print. But my point is, that's one of the most beautiful women at her age. So I believe that beauty is ageless, right? It's timeless. Right. So if a woman wanted to say, hey, she just wanted to just show her beauty and start doing a little bit of modeling, what would you recommend her?
I have had that question many, many, many times. And the first thing I would say is to locate the local fashion shows.
Local fashion shows.
Local fashion shows. Go into the internet on Google and search model call.
Okay.
You know, see where you can get in, because it may just be a showing that may have only 30, 40 people in it.
That's right. You might be in, right?
Yes, you got to start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're on that runway, you're showing, and always designers and brands, they're always looking for models. So my advice is to start. And that's what happened with me getting back into it in 2018. Besides those that people say, can we use you? You want to come here? You want to come here? I got on the internet and I saw local models. And there was a lady in Baltimore. And I sent her, I said, I would like to model. She said, great, I can use you. I said, let me write her back and tell her, there's one thing. I'm a modest model and I only have head coverings. Like, you know, I wear a head covering. She said, this is great because that's all I sell, are head covering. She was a cancer survivor.
Whoa.
Had a brand of head wraps.
You're rocking it. You're rocking it.
That's
found
great.
a niche.
I can use it. And I sure did. When she said that, I was like, oh my goodness. And from there, it just keeps networking. Networking. That's all you need.
I think it's beautiful. And for our ladies and our sisters that have suffered breast cancer and they're wearing head wraps and scarves and coverings and things like that, it's a beautiful, it just makes them feel good. It uplifts their self-confidence as a woman. And I think it's beautiful, man. I think it's beautiful.
A power statement.
Some women don't want to wear wigs all the time, but they'll put a head covering on, put that hair dress on, and it's as glorious and beautiful.
I remember the 70s, and I tried to replicate it in the 70s because I remember my mom doing it when she, started wrapping her head. It was a 70s type of look where you have your scarf on the side. On the side, yes. Mm-hmm. On the side tie. And that reminds me of some of the 70s models that used to do that. Yes. And it wasn't always because, like you said, it was the cancer survivors. It was the women maybe who had a terrible haircut. They had to do something. Not to put you on a magazine or in front about, and it looks beautiful.
Absolutely.
We've
come such a long way, and hairdressing's really has never gone out of style. They're just, really getting their due in a place. I mean, even from African, our heritage, and it's just like they've never lost this place, but they're just getting its due now, time, and I think that's absolutely wonderful.
And I think a lot of the Muslim models have really put that out there,
absolutely,
really highlighted it.
Absolutely. So as we're winding down, I do have to ask, in looking back at your 9-year-old self, if you look back at your 9-year-old self, you're 9 years old, and Khalida looks back and say, hey, what would you tell that 9-year-old self what you know now? And you're a runway model. What would you tell that beautiful 9-year-old?
Keep working, Khalida. You're going to get there, although people may not support you now. Because I can always remember wanting to be a model. But my dad was in the industry. He was in the makeup and hairdress. He was a hairdresser.
Oh, your dad was a hairdresser.
Yeah, my dad was a hairdresser and makeup artist.
Nice.
And he worked with big names in New York and everything. And he had his own salon. He did not want me in that industry. He did not. And my mom, she was like, oh, no, we're not getting in that at all. So just if you have your passion and you know what you want to do, work at it. Keep going. Do not let anything or anyone stop you and do not lose your morals and your ethics and whatever you believe in.
Right.
Stay close to that and hold it.
Yeah. And I honor you for that you've been able to stay and hold your spirituality and what you believe. I think that's beautiful. And you tell people, look, I'm a model's model, and I'm not coming there, I'm not walking the runway unless you have something for my head. I love that. It's not about the money. It's about what I stand for. And you honor God, and God honors you. Definitely. And so I love it. So I want to know, how do you wind down, in addition to spending time with your beautiful 3 sons, they're so gorgeous, and your husband. What do you do? What does Khalida do? What do you do to wind down?
Make sure all that gunk is off my face by thorough cleansing.
That's a part of your beauty regimen.
A mask.
Yeah, that's a part of your beauty regimen. You got to do that anyway.
Movie night. I get on the phone with my friends.
Nice.
Just my core group that keeps me lifted. Right. And of course prayer. Just winding down. Just sit down. That's it. Because, modeling, you're standing all day. You're doing 15-hour days sometimes just on a shoot. 15-hour days. So sit down and be plain. That's all I want to be, is plain.
Be plain.
And be plain, yes.
Yes.
Watch movies.
I think that's beautiful. I one of my greatest wind down is just to turn all electrical devices off, and I'm in silence. It's just in silence. I like to get my downloads from among high. We can't do that when we're so interfered with everything in our surroundings. And I seriously do that. And I'm not bothered by anything. It better not be no fire or anything like that. But I turn everything off so that I can get my download. And so I think that's beautiful. And how's your diet? So what do you do to maintain that beautiful weight that you have?
After the 3 kids, I actually had 6 pregnancies, but I got 3. Exercise. I'm getting back into it like a routine. Definitely water. And just trying not to eat so many carbs and all that sugar, because sugar is in everything. Yes. You turn around, you have sugar in everything. So I make all of my stuff homemade. My sister gets on me because everything has to be scratched. I had to make mine from scratch. You get the, pull this and pull the avocado, pull everything. But as long as it's healthy and I know what's in it, it's going to be good.
I love it. So how do you keep that bright smile so white?
I'll give you a secret.
What is it? Turmeric?
No. Well, the facial stuff, yes, turmeric. The facial teeth, baking soda.
Yep. Old school.
Grandma taught us that, right?
Better put some baking soda around those teeth.
All the time. Right before a shoot, right before a runway, whatever, I'm up there with my baking soda. That's the first thing I do.
She said baking soda. So, Miss Khalida, what is your next? Because now that we're still in COVID and we are still going through this pandemic, there will not be any runway shows for 2021, possibly for 2022. What is your next?
That's secret coming up. I'm starting to launch a, modest modeling coaching session.
Nice.
Or workshop or
virtual?
Yes. It's going to be virtual. I can meet with some people who are especially local.
Okay.
Once the bans are lifted and stuff, I may travel out. But of course, they're going to be limited to 10 people, Right. I've been asked that for many, many years for me to coach, and I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. First of all, I was like, no, it's taken away from me modeling. I want to be modeled and get some modeling coaching from somebody else, not me coach you. But I think it's time now, and I think
that doesn't take anything away from you. It's an extension of who you are.
And that's
your gift makes room for you. Your gift makes room for you. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we have to pivot. Doesn't mean that we're giving something up. That means it's an extension of what we have. And so you have a greater gift out there to be able to help and give the world, and as to help others. Might not be they're going to be runway model, but and that might help someone with their self-confidence, with their self-esteem.
But it's more than that's what I'm saying. It's more than just runway. They might like the behind the scenes. They might like to be a stylist. They might like to be a makeup artist. They might like to be an esthetician. They might like to be a hairdresser. Whatever it is, it's all under the same umbrella.
I see it now, young ladies that look like you, that look like us, and they're like, Khalida, I heard your story, and I really want to do makeup or I want to do skincare. And, their parents is just like, how can I do that and also be a model?
Right.
And they see a mentor like yourself. I think that's beautiful.
And who helped me realize this, because I didn't realize this until that conversation you had with Charleston Pierce. Yes. I said to myself, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Is helping others, because people have asked, and I'm like, why not try?
Absolutely.
I have the experience under my belt.
Absolutely. And I'm definitely going to connect you two together. That man is touching millions of lives from around the world.
I'm sure he
so is. That will be a beautiful collaboration between you two to get together. I think that would be absolutely amazing. And then what about, I think a good idea, Khalida, have you ever thought about endorsements? You ever thought about maybe companies probably sending products possibly your way and you modeling them?
Give me something to model. Give me something to present. What do? I make it look fabulous.
Do I need to send the two gorgeous 25th anniversary lipstick palette, which I have not launched yet, to Khalida, so then she can make some photography for me?
Yes, absolutely. I actually have a designer doing the same thing. She's launching her line, and she wants me to send. She wants to send out.
Bring it on. Open it up, Khalida. Open it up. You have infinite opportunities now. Infinite opportunities. As long as it is in alignment with your values.
Yes.
As long as it's in alignment with your values, the sky is the limit.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. Oh my God, I am so excited. Do you have any last minute words or questions that you would like to share before we close out this wonderful beauty podcast?
Work hard, continue to persevere, just work and stick with your passion and your ethics and your morals, and you'll be there.
And you did that.
And that's it. God will be there.
I would like to show one last clip, if I may. I thought this was really beautiful because it explains a lot on your headdress, on why that's important to you. Okay. If we can play this clip, let me make sure I have it. Is that okay, Khalida?
Yes, please do. Thank you. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. My scar is more than just a head covering for me. It's my power statement. My scarf is more than just an accessory. It's my last affirmation, that exclamation point to my daily narrative getting dressed. My scarves have the ability to truly make an outfit come alive. And I'm a woman with my own style.
Oh, how beautiful is that? Khalida, how beautiful is that? You are a woman with your own style. Khalida, thank you so much, my sister. It was so wonderful reconnecting and reuniting with you. Not even 1 year old looking girl, still look like the same way we met.
Mirror image, sis, mirror image.
And what URL would you like to leave us so people can get in contact with you or want to find out more about Khalida? What would you like to share?
On Instagram, I'm under Khalida the Model, all one word, KHALIDA, the THEMODEL, Khalida the Model.
All right. I see you coming out with a journal too. I don't know why I just got that inspiration. I see you coming out with a beauty journal.
You know what? I probably will. I just need you in my back pocket right here.
You just right there. See, download. Everybody, thank you very much for watching. This is Kim Evans with Inspired Conversations. Oh my God, podcast. We are now on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on YouTube. We're on Vimeo. We are growing by leaps and bounds. Continue to follow us because we're being large and in charge. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Thank you for your support. Khalida, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest. God bless. Bye for now.